Welcome to the Portraits Whisper, where our guest storytellers are portraits, paintings, and artworks. Here, every canvas breathes and every brushstroke hides a story waiting to be told. Tonight's whisper is from our guest, The Last Days of Pompeii, an oil painting created by the Russian artist Bryullov, circa 1830. When Bryullov painted Pompeii's doom, he captured more than a city. He trapped its souls, and on autumn nights, they still stir. In the autumn of the year, when the veil between worlds thinned to a gossamer thread, the old curator of the State Russian Museum in St. Petersburg approached Bryullov's colossal canvas. He was drawn to the grand apocalyptic scene, particularly a small figure in the upper left corner, a self-portrait of the artist clutching his paints and brushes. The curator, in his youth, had served as an assistant to a mystic who claimed that on autumn evenings, the spirits of artworks could be called forth. He placed a carved lantern at the base of this painting, its flickering grin casting restless shadows across the painted chaos. He spoke a low, rhyming verse taught to him long ago, and as the final word faded, the air in the gallery grew still and cold. The painted Bryullov turned his head. His eyes, once mere dabs of paint, now held the fiery glow of Vesuvius. He stepped from the canvas, the painted ashes on his robes falling to the gallery floor as real, cold powder. "You have called me from my work," the spectre said, his voice the rustle of 1,000 dry leaves. The curator, though old, did not cower. "You are trapped in the last day of Pompeii. What do you see?" Bryullov gestured to his masterpiece. "I see a moment frozen. But the souls that cannot rest, they replay their final minutes every night the veil grows thin." The painted street began to shimmer. The curator watched as the figures came to life. A mother hugging her daughters, a son carrying his elderly father, a man trying to calm his panicked horse, but they moved without sound, their silent terror amplified by their spectral form. A ghostly pumice shower rained down on them, and they were enveloped by a cloud of translucent ash. They vanished, and the painting returned to its static state. "It is a purgatory of paint and canvas," said the artist's ghost. "A beautiful, eternal hell." "Is there no escape?" asked the curator. "No, only through a different end," Bryullov replied. "I froze them in their terror, but they long for an autumn death, a quiet end." The curator went to his study and returned with a single crimson maple leaf. "The end of one season for another," he whispered, pressing the leaf to the edge of the painting. The painted street of tombs pulsed with a warm light. One by one, the specters of the Pompeians emerged, no longer terrified, but serene. Their forms dissolved into swirls of amber, gold, and crimson, like leaves swept away by a cool breeze. Bryullov's ghost watched them go, a sad, knowing smile on his face. When the last whisper of color had faded, he returned to his place in the painting, his gaze once more directed toward the viewer. The curator looked at the canvas. The horror remained, but now there was a new stillness, a sense of peace beneath the chaos. He looked at the window, where the cold, crisp air carried the dancing glow of freed souls. You have been listening to The Portraits Whisper on Storylink Radio, where every canvas has a story to tell. Be sure to subscribe and listen for our next guest, for the gallery never sleeps, and another canvas is already waiting to whisper.